ARK Survival Evolved was like an after-party game back on 2017's trending survival game genre that was out for early access on 2015, but it was fully finished in 2017 with its unique and own features to win us over with dinosaurs. ARK 2, on the other hand, will be tackled in this video. But before we get into it, do me a favor and smash the like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell button for notifications whenever a new video is published. ARK 2 is the sequel of the game ARK Survival Evolved. The release date of ARK 2, which was initially set for 2022 and announced in 2020, was postponed to a hazy 2023 during the Xbox and Bethesda showcase in 2022. Because Studio Wildcard delayed ARK 2 to 2023 shouldn't come as much of a surprise, though, given that we spent 2 years without an update and the enormous impact the current COVID-19 pandemic has had on production pipelines. It's also likely that this game will have an early access phase, just like the first ARK had. Platforms. Unlike ARK Survival Evolved, ARK 2 will be released simultaneously on console and PC. Studio Wildcard and Microsoft Gaming announced their cooperation alongside the game's reveal, making ARK 2 a console launch exclusive for Xbox Series X. As a result of this agreement, Xbox will be the only console platform on which ARK 2 will be available at launch. That indicates that PlayStation 5 players won't be able to play for a while. However, we do know that there won't be any Xbox One or PS4 versions released because the game will only be available on PC and current generation consoles. It wouldn't be all that shocking to see ARK Survival Evolved sequel move to PlayStation after its exclusive time with Xbox expires, given that ARK Survival Evolved found success on PS4. Trailers. In 2020, as part of the Game Awards, the first ARK 2 trailer was released. Even though the ARK 2 reveal teaser was entirely recorded in Engine, Studio Wildcard has recently acknowledged that development has switched to Unreal Engine 5. While this announcement video doesn't show any gameplay, it does establish the tone of the upcoming sandbox, introduce some well-known names who are working on the project, and tease some of the additional features we can look forward to when ARK 2 finally comes out. The trailer begins with a young girl watching an unusual creature that has been disguised as a flower. It's none other than caveman Vin Diesel, who approaches her from behind and informs her that they must leave as she watches it skitter up a limb. As they rejoin their little tribe, a group of cloaked beastmen is stalking them through the jungle. A grueling conflict between Vin and the group's leader is eventually ended when a T-Rex emerges from the trees and devours the beastman. Someone makes a sacrifice to save the girl as the T-Rex attacks Vin's clan. Before Vin, the girl, and a lady can flee inside a cave, there is a great deal of fighting, fleeing, and epic music. Everybody is wearing a luminous stone in their forearms that is responding to futuristic technology, as can be seen in this scene. Vin runs a screen scan that identifies the person as Santiago da Costa and displays a variety of information about him, such as the fact that his engram imprinting isn't complete and that cloning access isn't allowed. They exit the cave and stand in front of an expansive view of impossibly large landmasses and dinosaurs after Santiago switches off the device. Even though Diesel's character Santiago has received most of the attention in the trailers so far, ARK 2 will still essentially be a sandbox game like the first. Santiago is a clone of the player character from the original game, according to the game's narrative. However, the ARK 2 teaser shown at E3 2022 was shot in Unreal Engine 5, and it looks excellent. Despite not being gameplay, it establishes the tone for the game's plot, which takes place in a world after a tremendous battle. Every day is still a battle in a world where there are dinosaurs, but luckily, Vin Diesel's character and his daughter are prepared with their very own pet T-Rex that is armored in bone. ARK 2 Vin Diesel and other characters. In ARK 2, Vin Diesel will play Santiago, the main protagonist. Santiago is a clone of Santiago da Costa, a player character from ARK Survival Evolved, for those of you not keeping up with the overall series story here. As part of Vin Diesel's commitment, Studio Wildcard has given him the role of President of Creative Convergence. We have no idea what that implies, but according to Microsoft, the Fast and the Furious star is a huge fan of the series and has played ARK Survival Evolved for over 1,000 hours. Diesel is putting that experience to good use. According to Doug Kennedy, CEO of Studio Wildcard, he understands the game intimately and is offering direct feedback to the production process. Gameplay. Although direct gameplay for ARK 2 has not yet been shown, developer Studio Wildcard has begun to hint at what we may anticipate. ARK 2 has only been seen in cinematic form, although as a sequel, there should be many connections to the previous game. We anticipate it to continue being primarily concerned with survival and crafting, with a ton of recipes and items to uncover, develop, and make. We foresee a game where you can start with nothing and progress to nearly unbeatable levels, whether playing alone or with friends. The first had intriguing ways for characters to engage with one another as well as tried mechanics. The entire story takes place in a vast, brand new alien setting, and there are dynamic world events that take place without regard to your actions. The decision to engage with them will then have its rewards and difficulties. Combat may or may not use as many futuristic weapons, pulling once again from the first game. Additionally, you'll be able to create weapons and equipment from a variety of modules to customize their appearance and effectiveness, leading to millions of unique combinations. Although we haven't seen any yet, the original one had a wide variety of futuristic weapons among your standard spears and axes. You can team up with, or compete against, other human players in addition to the AI enemies, as in any shared world survival game. Locking on, dodging, combinations, poise, and special attacks are all reportedly included in the combat, which is believed to be more Souls-like. To go along with this, ARK 2 will now be a first-person or third-person game, which is a significant change. This will assist with both the new traversal techniques and the new combat systems. The main RPG aspects in ARK 2 will be leveling up and progressing through a skill tree with various skills, perks, and boosts. There will also be a PvE element, in which hostile Atarai will hunt you on the backs of their own tamed dinosaur to expel you from their land. ARK 2 multiplayer and mods. All we know at this point is that ARK 2 is entirely multiplayer. Even how many players will be able to coexist in the same world is unknown, as are the multiplayer mechanics from the first game. Additionally, we are unsure about your ability to create your private game world at this time. The fact that ARK 2 will at least support players on PC, Xbox, and, presumably, PlayStation once it gets there, those platforms, is one thing we do know. As part of its E3 2022 announcements, Studio Wildcard also stated that ARK 2 will accept cross-platform mods and user-generated content from Mod.io. This will make it possible for mods and user-generated content, UGC, to work on both Xbox and PC platforms. ARK 2's fully stackable, user-created mods will open the door for players to generate new dinosaur and creatures, items, and gameplay features, with maps distributed across all platforms, including onto Xbox, and support for modded servers via Mod.io, reads Studio Wildcard's statement. Numerous updates and DLC additions let ARK Survival Evolved flourish, and ARK 2 is almost probably going to do the same. Although it isn't strictly marketed as a live service game, ARK 2 is intended to be a game you return to anytime a new zone, dinosaur, or set of crafting materials is added, much like Minecraft is. ARK 2, the animated series crossover. As if that weren't exciting enough, ARK will also have its animated series titled simply ARK, the animated series. With 14 30-minute episodes, ARK, the animated series will provide an original story that will transition into or at least contain characters from ARK 2. Here is the trailer's official synopsis. ARK, the animated series chronicles the story of a mysterious primeval land populated by dinosaurs and other extinct creatures, where people from throughout human history have been resurrected. When 21st century Australian paleontologist Helena Walker awakes on the Ark after the tragedy, she must learn to survive and find new allies, or die again at the hands of ruthless warlords, all while trying to uncover the true nature of their strange new world. Along with ARK 2, ARK, the animated series, was also revealed, and it will debut in 2022. The series was co-created and produced by Studio Wildcard and Jay Oliva. Batman, The Dark Knight Returns. The series animators, Lex plus Otis, are also collaborating with Zack Snyder on an anime adaptation of The Army of the Dead. The music for the program will also be composed by ARK composer Gareth Coker. Sound cool. In addition to Vin Diesel, of course, Russell Crowe, Elliot Page, Gerard Butler, David Tennant, Carl Urban, Alan Tudyk, and Malcolm McDowell, the cast of the show has a who's who of A-list actors. When the character makes a crossover in the upcoming ARK, the animated series, which is scheduled to premiere in 2022, Studio Wildcard assures us that we'll find out more about him. Santiago is seen in the film wading through a forest full of dinosaurs with what might be his wife and children. Santiago is described as a 24th century mech pilot, gearhead, and freedom fighter in the animated series trailer. He also has a small tribe with him, but when a group of unsettling blue dudes rushes them, things become a little complicated. Are you excited to play ARK 2? Is it already added to your wishlist on Steam? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. Before leaving, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell button for notifications on our future content. With that being said, see you in the next one.